I want to quickly do a review of Finance Factory. And the big question is, can you trust this lender this year for your business lending? Okay. Let me first talk to you about what the company really stands for. So, what is Finance Factory? So, if you think about Finance Factory, I want you to think about a full service business finance and consulting firm. Okay. So, this is more like it's more of a small business marketplace that works with a network of lenders to provide business loans. So, if you go to a Finance Factory, you're not really speaking to a bank. You're not speaking to a financial institution. You're not speaking to a direct lender. You're not speaking to a credit union. You're speaking to a loan marketplace. You're speaking to a lender network. Okay, this is actually quote unquote a middleman between you and a partner. A network of partners. Okay, so what happens here is that this company can help submit loan applications to lenders where they are most likely to qualify. So basically, once you submit an application to Finance Factory, they will study it, they will analyze it, they will review it, and they will direct you to those lenders that are most likely to approve your loan application based on, let's say, your credit profile, based on your company's financials, based on your company's the niche you're in, the industry you're in, and so on and so forth. Okay, so think about Finance Factory as a go-between for your business and the lender. So because of the diverse lending partners, this company offers a wide range of business funding solutions. And so one area, for instance, where I've seen over the years Finance Factory actually are standing out big time is when it comes to startup financing. They offer startup financing. So, and this is kind of cool because a lot of alternative lenders don't actually provide that. Okay, so if you have a brand new business, you can still qualify for a business loan by going to Finance Factory. Now, cost can vary significantly between different lending products, and basically, you also have to account for the lender that ends up servicing that product. Because remember, Finance Factory does not lend to you directly; they go to a third party network. Okay, and Finance Factory has been around since 2006, so that's more than 20 years. That's really fantastic, and they cover all 50 states. So, and they are based in Maryland. So that's really good to remember. So how does Finance Factory work? How do they work this year? Well, the thing is, they have all kinds of business loan programs. They have unsecured business finance. They have startup funding. They have SBA loans. They have merchant cash advances. They have equipment financing, and they have real estate funding. Let me explain a little bit. So when I say unsecured business finance, here you have a funding time that goes from 7 to 10 days. That's kind of cool. I mean, you are going to get funded, but it will take more. It will take more time. So the cool thing here is that you just need to get funding based on your business cash flow. Okay, and here you're looking at anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000. So this is kind of cool. And by the way, Finance Factory can also help you get business credit cards. So that's something that's to really account for too. Okay, so they're not just specializing in getting business loans. They can also help you with business credit cards. For business loans, 50 grand to $250,000. For business credit cards, you are looking at 25,000 all the way to $150,000. Okay, and both programs are available with 0% intro APR for up to 21 months for if your business is a well qualified business. You also have startup funding. So through Finance Factory, the funding time for startups goes from 7 to 10 days. Okay, so you can apply for startup funding through this platform, and so startup financing is available as credit cards, personal loans, business loans, and lines of credit. And also, the firm can also facilitate business directed retirement account, so BDRA for you if you want to use retirement funds as startup capital. So something like ROBS, if you will, okay? The fees are potentially high though. If you are going to go with startup financing, you are bound to pay more. You also have SBA loans. Here, the funding program is longer. It can go all the way to 2 months. I mean, SBA loan programs are generally longer anyway, okay? You also have merchant cash advances where the funding time is generally shorter, like 48 hours. And same thing for equipment financing. So what are the qualifications for Finance Factory? So if you want to really apply through this program, through this platform, what kind of qualifications you should have. Now, the qualifications really depend on the type of funding program you want to go for. What I'm trying to say here is that if you go with unsecured business funding, for instance, the qualifications are totally different from if you were to go through the startup funding program, SBA loans, MCAs, or something else. Okay, but the thing is that the qualifications actually vary depending on the product, but also the lender. Because remember, Finance Factory is a lending marketplace, so every lender sorry about that. Every lender has his or her requirements. Okay, so some small business loans require a good credit score, while others accept a low score or have no minimum requirements. So you have to really you have to finalize the requirements once you see a loan, once you apply, and you have a lender actually interested in funding your application. So one thing I want to say here is that you always have the possibility to get a low credit score. I mean, sorry, a low APR if you have a high credit score. Okay, because you're gonna have lenders fighting, quote unquote, fighting for your business, and and through this fight, you are going to benefit from it because you are gonna have in the end you're gonna receive a pretty good APR. So something to really keep in mind if you are considering a Finance Factory this year. And one thing I also want to say is that basically this company is constantly expanding its lending network. They actually started using business loan brokers actually to offer the company's lending products. Okay, so you are also able to get a loan through a Finance Factory through a business loan broker. So how do you apply to Finance Factory this year? Well, if you go to the Finance Factory website, you don't see that much info in terms of the application process, okay? But basically, there are a few things that we are able to get here and there through our own investigation. So basically, you want to go to the website and you want to see what loans are available. You always want to go through the what I call the pre-qualification process, okay? It takes about 1 to 2 minutes, so you can see what kind of loans are available for businesses with your profile, because every industry is different, okay? And you want to see what kind of funding programs are available. And once you go through the process, you want to choose an option. So choose an option. This shouldn't take you more than two minutes, by the way. You choose an option based on what you're looking for, based on what sector you're in, based on the activities you're trying to fund, whether you want to fund inventory or you want to fund payroll or you want to fund an expansion or you want to fund whatever, you know. So you want to choose an option and then you want to get funded. Now, getting funded between the time from the time you actually see what loans are available and the time you actually get funded, you can see you will have like a maximum of 10 days. So 7 to 10 business days, okay, will elapse during those two phases. Now, what I want to say also is that if you want to really get approved fast, no matter what loan, no matter what business loan you want to go for, make sure you keep your business bank statements at the ready. So your business bank statements for the last, let's say, for the last 3 to 6 months, okay, keep those documents at the ready. You also want to have your credit reports. your personal credit reports, but also your business credit reports. So if you have your paydesk score ready, keep it at the ready. If you have your Experian business credit score report, also your Experian business credit report, also have it. Same thing for Experian, and same thing for FICO, your FICO score. Okay, so this is kind of cool. By the way, for your personal credit score, you always have the possibility to go to annualcreditreport.com to get it. Okay, to get an updated one. And you also need to keep your financial statements at the ready. So there are some cases where Finance Factory will want you to really connect your accounting software to their system for them to see live what your financial statements are. Okay, so instead of getting like, let's say, your P&L, your balance sheets, your cash flow statements on paper, they want to see it live. They want to see it electronically. So if you go to Finance Factory this year, what are the advantages? Let's first talk about the advantages, and then I'll talk to you about the disadvantages of using this marketplace. The advantages first. Now, the marketplace provides various small business loans to meet your needs. Okay, so anytime you're applying through a loan marketplace, you're getting access to a large variety of business loan programs: unsecured business finance, startup funding, SBA loans, MCAs, equipment financing, real estate funding. Those are pretty good. Okay, having the ability, having a CRE opportunity through Finance Factory is pretty big. CRE, commercial real estate. So whether you have a good credit or a bad credit, you can get low rates on certain products. You can even have access to more funding on certain products. Okay, and this includes coveted SBA loan options. And also through Finance Factory, you get a streamlined application process with a quick turnaround on decisions. Okay, and basically the company's lending partners can fund some loans within 48 hours. This is really good. So those are the advantages. What are the disadvantages of Finance Factory? Well, basically there are so many options, and this large variety of options can make it challenging to determine the best one for your needs. So while the company does offer reasonable rates to borrowers with excellent credit, if you have, let's say, an average or below average credit score, you will likely get higher rates and fees. Okay, and Finance Factory charges an origination fee on top of the lender's interest rates and fees. So this is how they get reward. This is how they get paid anyway. Okay, and so you can have a maximum origination fee of 10%. So something to really think about. Also, available loans, amounts, and rates are subject to change because lenders actually could change their options every now and then. So just be aware that you are really getting yourself into, let's say, a situation that could change all the time. So what are the pros and cons here? If you think about Finance Factory, what kind of pros should you be thinking about? What kind of cons you should be thinking about? Well, first of all, you have fast funding available for certain products. And those products really depend on the specific niche you're in, but also the kind of repayment window you are looking at. So if you're looking for long-term versus short-term, okay, short-term, for instance, you can have access to MCAs, for instance, and long-term, you can just go to the coveted SBA loan or unsecured business loan. You also have low rates if you are a well-qualified borrower. And the big thing for me is that you have access to a streamlined application. And the streamlined application is really important because it can save you not just hours through the application process, but it can also save you thousands of dollars in APR, in potential APRs. Okay, so this is important to really consider this year if you are going to go with Finance Factory. On the flip side, with Finance Factory, it can be really complicated because they have sorry about that. They have so many options, okay, and they also charge an origination fee. Now you might say, well, 10%, that's not a lot, but it is a lot. Think about it. Because if they're charging, let's say for every dollar that you get, every $100, if Finance Factory is taking $10, that's less money in your pocket. That's like for every $100, if you get it $90 and you still have to pay interest on the $100, that could be a lot. If you're borrowing $1 million, for instance, Finance Factory will actually will take a maximum of $100,000, which is really substantial, especially if you need the 1 million to finance the projects, for instance. Okay, so this origination fee is really discouraging for some business owners, some entrepreneurs. Okay, but hey, listen, they got to get paid too, right? So they got to find a way to fund their business model, and they actually have found it through those origination fees. So that's kind of cool. So when you think about Finance Factory, I want you to really understand that this is a legitimate online lending marketplace. They've been around since 2006, so you can trust them that they're pretty good. Okay, now they're not really that present. They don't have that many reviews online. So I guess they need to work on their triple B rating. They need to work on the Trust Pilot rating. Okay, and they also need to work on their Google reviews. But overall, if you ask business owners here and there, they actually they approve of Finance Factory's practices by and large. Okay, so this is kind of cool. People love the fact that this company has a straightforward process, has a straightforward, streamlined process. Okay, and people also love the fact that they have helpful customer service. So if you are a borrower and you reach out to them and you ask questions, they will actually answer you. Okay. Now, the only thing is, some people have complained about being charged more than they thought they would. Okay, which goes back to what I said about the lack of transparency when it comes to fees from Finance Factory. So they need to work on that, and also the fact that they are charging also an origination fee. Overall, if for any reason you get denied, you do not get approved through a Finance Factory, you can still get other lenders to work with you. I have covered multiple lenders on this show. If you have more questions, let me know, and I'll certainly guide you. I'll certainly give you some names here and there to actually apply to apply at and really boost your chances of approval. Okay, and also you also need to think about what kind of products you really need. Maybe if you apply for a business loan and you get denied, maybe what you really need is an MCA, or you need maybe a business line of credit, right? You have to adjust what kind of business loan program that you really need. So this is important to really think about it that way, because Finance Factory actually works with a network of lenders. You always have the possibility to switch. You can mix and switch. You can change things here and there, and they will adjust your application accordingly. Because based on the product that you have, they're going to match you with one lender type or another, right? So it's actually good to actually talk to customer service. You can talk to a loan rep before you finalize your application. You can ask them whether or not you're applying for the right product, okay? And they'll tell you, based on their experience, if your product, the product that you have chosen actually is the right one or the most appropriate one for your particular needs. So here's the epilogue into this conversation. I spoke to you about Finance Factory. I defined what this company does, the kind of financing programs they have, the qualification process, and how to apply, as well as the pros and cons. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.